We're live.
What's going on, metalheads? Thanks for coming on tonight. We are doing a full metal five-way today. We're going to be ranking Star Wars movies, all 9 of them. That includes Last Jedi. Everybody on the panel today has seen Last Jedi, so right off the bat, this is going to be a spoiler-heavy Full Metal 5. So if you haven't seen Last Jedi yet, do not watch this video. Come back afterwards and watch it, and then put your opinions in the comment section. But I am going to introduce all of our people that we have today. We have a murderer's row of Star Wars fans, so we're gonna start off on my my far left with the Purger. Brian Fernandez is here. How you doing, Brian? Good. All right. Then we've got right next to him, we've got the Canadian Nightmare. Mark Boric is here. What's going on, Mark?
Of course, I'm joined by Trevor the Porg.
Trevor the Pork.
And
All right. And this person needs zero introduction from me. He's my partner. He's my friend. We're all we're going to dominate everything. So let's welcome Jeremy Adams to our Star Wars talk. What's going on, Jer?
Hey guys, happy to be here. I got my new Star Wars background, got my Boba Fett hat. I'm ready to go, and I'm hoping I can bring a little sanity today after the insane Full Metal 5 we had last time. Let's not go crazy, guys.
Absolutely. Next we've got Nico. Nico, I'm going to give you the opportunity here to introduce yourself with your many changing names. Go ahead.
I'm the Cosmic Night Fury, the new Ken Martial Arts hardcore champion of the world, formerly the WTS champion, Nico Suave Regoli. And for the record, there are 10 Star Wars movies. I know no one likes to think about the Clone Wars film, but it did get a theatrical release.
oh, yeah, no, it counts. It counts. It's in the ranking.
That's 9.
Yeah, that was my bad.
There are 10.
It's 9, right? Oh,
Rogue One counts also. So, like,
Yes.
I just can't count, apparently.
Rogue One, and then, we're not counting.
Okay.
We're good.
Yep.
Yeah, Rogue One counts.
Oh, yeah.
That's 10.
All theatrical.
Sorry.
All right. And next we've got a good buddy of ours. He's been with us before, but we've got T.M. Smith. Tim, how you doing today?
Pretty good. Joined by my friend Darth Vader. Can't wait to see the release of Anga today. But yeah, it's great to talk Star Wars once again, and I'm glad to be here.
All right. And you guys all know me. Once again, I'm Sandy the Sandman Robinson. I'm here. I'm your host with all of these people here. And we're going to start off right away. And I suppose I get to pick who gets to pick who they want to see if we get on the list. The rules of this are we're going to pick every movie and we're going to put them we're going to pick every movie and we're going to pick 5 as our top 5.
First, we're going to come up with a top 7.
Top 7.
Then from there, we're going to take 2 out and rank the top 5.
You got it.
Yep.
All right. So we're going to start on my left, and we're going to start with Brian. Brian, who's your first pick? What movie is your first pick?
Okay, it has to be the obvious pick of them all. It's the most obvious one. We have to go with the original. That was in 1977. The original Star Wars. Come on, I mean it's what started.
Couldn't resist.
You really, Jeremy, you had to throw me off my point. Really?
Sorry.
You had one job, Jeremy. You had one job, man.
Okay, back on track.
Okay, the original Star Wars movie brought us this amazing franchise that we have, and it's what culminated this whole fandom. So the original Star Wars movie is my number one pick there to go in.
All right, let's go down the list. Mark, what do you think of Brian's pick? Does it get in or does it get out?
Oh yeah. Star Wars episode. You can call it episode 4. You can call it New Hope. You can call it on the list without a doubt. Wonder how it started the franchise. It introduced us to all the characters that we know and love, and it's just an epic movie. You can't go wrong with it. Star Wars makes my list.
All right, Jeremy, let's hear from you. Does it make the list?
It is a period of civil war, and it is on the list.
Oh, Lordy.
All right, Nico, make the list or does it not?
Honestly, no. And the
It's
reason
already on the list, though, right? Or do we have to get 4?
No, just like because we got 6 people, so it could be 3-3.
4.
the reason why I say the reason why I say it shouldn't be on the list is because when you look at everything that came after it, the quality of A New Hope isn't as good as the quality, like the visual quality of Empire Strikes Back, of Return of the Jedi, even of the prequels and of Rogue One and the sequel trilogy. I just feel like it's a victim of its time in that it visually doesn't look as good as its successors does.
All right, I'm jumping in here. So that is an absolute. I respect your opinion, but that's an absolute garbage answer. It was in 1977. They hadn't even created Industrial Light and Magic yet. It was all done off the fly, on the cuff. It was revolutionary because nothing had been done like this before. And just because it doesn't technologically hold up to the other two and going forward, doesn't mean that A New Hope wasn't the absolute standard bearer for everything that we've gotten now. Without A New Hope, if A New Hope flunks at the box office, there ain't no more Star Wars. None. At all.
I'm very much aware of that. I'm just like, I like its successors a little bit more than A New Hope.
And that's fair. You've given your vote. We've got 1 vote against, and we got 3-4. It's going to be up to TM, Mr. Tim Smith. He's got the deciding vote right now. Well, me, if you know.
Well, even though Nico, you are an Omega brother, I completely have to disagree with you on this, and also point out before the success of the rest of the Star Wars movies, no one was really sure on when they made this. It was a complete gamble, and it introduced us to a whole universe of possibility and hope and wonder. And it was if you look at it, it was a great single contained story because you didn't know the future if there was going to be Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi or what we got after. It was a good contained story and a great introduction of a world of possibilities, and I do believe it belongs on this list.
Perfect. So,
and also, I do want to say, also Alec Guinness, one of his greatest performances, Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's all I wanted to add to.
Oh yeah.
all right. Now I don't even need to vote on this one. A New Hope isn't in my. It's not in my. It's in my top 3. It's definitely not on my top 2. But I vote for it to be in, which it already is in. But now, good argument, Nico. Absolutely, absolutely valid. But we're going to move on to the second movie, and guess who gets to pick next? Mark, it is your turn.
His mic's off.
And his mic's off.
Yep.
That's okay.
Sorry about that. I was doing some production work there. Should I go with the obvious and my favorite, or should I
just pick everybody's favorite
one that I want to put in?
Just pick everybody's favorite Star Wars movie of all time.
Please don't do what I did with Jingle All the Way as a joke. Please don't.
No. Trust me, I'm not going to put.
I hear.
Don't jingle all the way.
With my picture.
I agree with that. Don't jingle all the way. This shit. Come on.
I'm going to really put on The Force Awakens for top 7, just because we had, for the most part. I know Sandy, you're a prequelist, and I know Nico, you love the prequels too. I enjoy them to the most part, except for the one movie, well, two movies. But and Phantom Menace was okay in my book, but I'm going to have to go with Force Awakens. It really brought back a lot of Star Wars fans. There's a lot. It gets a lot of hate that it does not deserve at all. it brought us back to nostalgia. It brought us new characters. It continued on the legacy of Star Wars that just kind of crapped on.
Yeah.
I really enjoy Force Awakens. Brought us Kylo Ren, brought us Finn, brought us Rey, and it reintroduced the old characters. Force Awakens is my pick.
It doesn't surprise me that you really liked The Force Awakens because you really liked A New Hope.
But yeah, there's a lot of it's New Hope rehashed. F off. It's still its own story. Starkiller Base is like the Death Star.
Kind of was.
What? It's Star Wars. It's the same.
How do we blow it up?
Trench
It's the same universe. Oh my god, they're not doing what the old Canyon did, where like everything had a massive super weapon. You had 15 massive super weapons in the old Canyon. They didn't go that hard. I'm just saying. Force Awakens is my pick.
All right.
Let's debate.
Jeremy, you get to vote first on this one.
Yeah, I love this movie. This I thought was a great way to bring us all back to Star Wars. It meant a lot to me when it came out. I saw it on Christmas Day with my dad. I've gotten to see it with my stepsons. It's a really good movie. I love it a lot, and I believe it's definitely top 7.
Awesome. All right, Nico.
I say put it on the list.
All right.
Like, in terms of explanation, why? When I was in the theater watching it, I felt what you all probably felt when you saw A New Hope in the theater. It was visually pleasing. I love the story. Special effects were up to par for what I want out of a Star Wars film. That's why I kind of give A New Hope some shade. But I loved what I saw. And in terms of like, it's A New Hope rehash, you got to think about the history of Star Wars. And there's a lot. George Lucas is a big fan of poetry, and one of the poetic themes he loves to experiment with is history repeating itself. And even though the rebellion eventually defeats the Empire, that doesn't mean that the Empire can't morph into something else that the new forces of good have to deal with in the future.
Yeah, respectable. Tim, let's go. You got the vote.
Again, I first want to go in with, like, when I first saw The Force Awakens, I thought it was okay. I liked it. Yes, you can say it was a rehash of Episode 4, but I think you have to look at the scale at that time with Star Wars, because even though, yes, there are a lot of prequelists out there, a lot of people also were pissed off and turned away from the prequels. So with introduced after all this time, all it really had to do, you had to tell a competent story and go into it and not mess it up too bad. And they did that. They got a lot of people reinvigorated with Star Wars. Yes, it was just like a rehash, but also if you think about it, it was safe to do that. You're staying away from midichlorians, which ticked a lot of people off. You're staying away from a lot of other prequel era stuff that rubbed fans the wrong way. So I would say in a top 7, yes, Episode 7 would go in.
All right, well, there it is. It makes it into the top 7. My vote, once again, doesn't count, but at this particular point in time. But yeah, Force Awakens is in my top 7 as well. It's just in my top 7, and
it's in mine as well, because I mean, let's think about this. I mean, after the prequels, came out and all this stuff, everybody was so disappointed by how the results of it were, and it pretty much it just felt like it died out for a while. But then once Disney bought Lucasfilm and all this stuff, and they were just like, we wanted a new movie, I think that's what brought everybody back into to watching Star Wars again. So, and it also introduced like little kids who have never seen Star Wars in their lives, who are probably like 5-10 years old, or anything like that. They're starting to watch Star Wars. And then guess what? Now 30 years down the line, their kids are gonna watch Star Wars. So it's a full circle coming back again once The Force Awakens came out. So it definitely makes top 7, but as far as top 5,
We'll get
I'm
there.
not gonna say
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Okay, and
But for now,
I'm going to take
top
just a
7,
quick
yes.
second here after Brian. Thanks for that, Brian.
No problem.
We had another person join. He's a little late today, but he's invited to this thing. We welcome Ryan Permison on the line. Brian, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, sir. Thank you very much for having me. I'm sorry I'm a little late to the party. I didn't get the message till just now, but thank you very much for having me. Let's talk some Star Wars. I got my shirt on. I'm ready to go.
Now,
I'm going full Star Wars here, so.
And thank you, Ryan, for joining us. You are now our 7th person. We don't need tiebreakers now.
Nope.
Thank you.
And just so you know,
Yay.
Brian, the first 2 that have been voted in are A New Hope has been voted in, and The Force Awakens has been voted in our top 7 so far.
And we haven't voted anything out yet.
Not yet.
Okay, sounds good. New Hope I dig. Force Awakens is awesome. I love that movie so much.
Okay.
And it's an underappreciated and underrated film. Okay,
I
have
agree,
to
I
throw that
agree.
out there. I had to throw that out there.
Okay.
It's so underappreciated, so underrated.
Yeah.
So to
All
all
right.
those who don't like The Force Awakens, screw
Okay.
up.
And Sandy, who are we moving on to next to nominate?
I'm just going to say one more comment just for that. Yeah, if you think it was underrated and it made close to $2 billion, yeah, no, it was not underrated. We're going to move on to Jeremy the Atom Adams. He gets the next pick to hopefully make our top 7.
All right, I'm going to go totally personal here and tell a little bit of a personal story. When I was a kid, I was about 4 or 5 years old, and we had like a party with all my little cousins. And we had a stack, I remember VHS tapes, a bunch of Disney movies. But in this stack of movies was a different one, and we put it in and we watched it first. And afterwards, we threw all the Disney movies in away and just kept watching this movie over and over and over. It was my introduction to Star Wars. It changed my life. It would be Return of the Jedi from 1983. This is the movie that I saw the original trilogy in reverse order. I saw this, and then I saw Empire on HBO, and then I saw New Hope on network TV. So it was kind of a weird way to get into it. But yeah, this movie, just seeing the Jabba scene, I remember the Sarlacc pit. I just remember seeing all of it as a kid, and it was so indelible. I didn't know who Luke was or what was going on, but just the imagery and just the Star Wars universe made such an impact. And I still love the movie. People complain about certain things in it. People don't like the Ewoks, but I can tell you one thing. I was around in the 80s, and the Ewoks were pretty sweet back then. And, there's still a little place in my heart. So I love Return of the Jedi. I absolutely think it should be on there.
Awesome. All right, Nico. That was great, Jer. Nico, what do you got to say about that?
I say put it on the list. Return of the Jedi introduced so many things that I love about Star Wars. First off, the first ever green lightsaber. I have a fascination with geology, and having a different colored lightsaber made me want to research even if it was EU, the canon at the time of what a Star Wars lightsaber crystal could do for the lightsaber. On top of that, Ewoks. I actually love the Ewoks. I think they're very underappreciated. I mean, they fucking eat people. They eat people. Yeah. They may be cute and cuddly, but they are some vicious creatures. And also, Carrie Fisher in a metal bikini. Sorry to go there for my fellow feminists out there. I'm sorry, but that was my introduction to S&M and a lot of weird searches afterwards. I destroyed a few computers.
Somebody just mute his mic right now. Mute his mic and let's move on.
But yes,
so much for Bendu.
Put it on the next on the list. There's a lot to love about that movie.
All right, we're gonna move on. Ryan gets his first shot at the ring here. What do you think of Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, it does. It goes in. I'm not gonna say where it's in my top 5, but it's definitely there. It goes in.
All right, let's moving on. Thanks for that, Tim. What do you got?
I think for episode 6, one, I apologize to our internet community for Nico there. That was just way too much information. I will disagree with Jeremy with the Ewoks because I hated those, but I love episode 6 for a whole different reason because of the whole end scene with Vader, the Emperor, and Luke rising above that he was not going to go down that dark side. He was going to remain in the light. He brought his father back of evil, saved his father's soul. To me, it goes in, but that's why I loved it so much, was that conclusion with Luke, because he was one of my favorites of the original 3.
Perfect. Good job. Thanks for that. It's my turn. I will respond to Return of the Jedi. It was the 3rd movie that I saw in the theaters. I was 5 years old when my mom took me to see episode 1 or episode 4, A New Hope. Let's be honest. The lightsaber battle in A New Hope was really crappy. It was just him and Vader just going doink, 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 and then he got cut in half. So as a big lightsaber fan, as a big person who enjoys lightsaber battles, it was okay when you were little. Then you move to Empire, and Empire's great. It's got a good lightsaber scene in it, but it's mostly Vader's use of the Force that is fantastic in that, and pummel him and just taking and then upping it up a notch. And then you've got Return of the Jedi, and you have a Luke Skywalker who doesn't want to fight his father. You've got Vader who continues to want to earn the Emperor's praise and judgment. So he wants to fight Luke. He wants to stay evil and bad. And that lightsaber battle was at the time the best thing I'd ever seen. So I absolutely include Return of the Jedi in my top 7. And with 4, that's enough to go through. But we'll go to Brian and get a quick message from him.
Ryan. Oh,
Ryan. Oh, shit. Okay.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ, man.
It's what happens when I'm late to the party. What am I voting on again?
Return of the Jedi.
No,
I want. You want to hear my response about the movie?
Yeah.
Would it be on your list?
Oh, would it be on my list? Absolutely, it would be on my list. The lightsaber duel and the space battle going on around it alone make it one of the best of all time.
I didn't miss you, did I?
Woo!
No. You, Brian already gave his opinion.
So you're gonna have to hit that B pretty hard because every time you say Ryan, Brian thinks it's Brian.
Yeah.
All right, Mark.
Next time, just call me Purger. How about that? Just say Purger.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Awesome. Mark, you haven't unleashed your thoughts yet?
Okay, yeah. When it comes to Return of the Jedi, it definitely makes my top 10. Does it make my top 7? Of course. Does it make my top 5? Of course.
Is it in your top 3?
We'll have to wait and see that.
Oh. Okay.
All right. So the next person to offer his selection into our top 7 is the man, the myth, the legend, Nico. Go at it, brother.
All right, Jeff. We already have 3 movies on the list. So for this one, I'm going to fight really hard, and I want you to open your mind here. Just open.
I know where you're going with this.
It's a no.
Calm down.
It's a no.
Sandy, you mentioned lightsaber battles earlier, and the episode 4 lightsaber battle is part of the reason why I didn't want to put it on the list, because I thought that lightsaber battle was lacking. Whereas,
oh god,
for a film that's heavily criticized, it has the best lightsaber battle in all of Star Wars, along with the best score to accompany a lightsaber battle in all of Star Wars. Yes, I'm actually talking about The Phantom Menace. Hear me out. 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 Tell me you do not love Maul versus Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. That is a beautifully choreographed lightsaber fight. The movie highlights the Jedi Order at the height of its powers. It shows us what people on Tatooine actually do for fun, as opposed to just like sit there and work on a moisture farm. Like they actually have Mad Max style death races. Like seriously, come on. And also, the introduction of Naboo, which is one of the most beautiful planets in all of Star Wars. It's actually two civilizations in one. It has a civilization on land and a civilization underwater. And the civilization on land, its government is run by publicly elected teenage girls. And somehow they have a more efficient government than what we have in America right now, run by old white fucks. So
It always has to go with you.
Okay.
there's a lot that people don't want to see within that movie that's good because, Jar Jar. There are things to like about this movie that no one wants to admit.
He's got a point.
Okay, Shandy, if it's okay, I'll take point on this one. My answer is a definite no on this one. It's not the worst Star Wars movie, but it's just like there's 3 of them that have to be taken out. Actually, since there is 3 of them, yeah, no, it does get taken out for me. I'm sorry, Nico. Duel of the Fates. I'm like Maud Garrick with that. I freaking love that theme. That lightsaber battle is awesome. The pod racing scene is awesome. Those are two of my all-time favorite parts. Unfortunately, Phantom Menace does not make the list. Just outside of those, it's boring. It's relatively pretty boring.
I'm you. All right. Good. I'm glad you got that off your chest. Let's move on. Let's go over to the Purger over there that decided to put on a whole different mask because he probably doesn't even want to answer this question. But Purger, what you got on your mind? And we're moving on. Jeremy, let's I'm gonna take that as a no, thankfully. But Jeremy,
no.
That's a no. Okay. Look, Nico, there are good things in this movie, and I do like that this movie is more practical than 2 and 3. It's not just complete green screen. There's some cool stuff in there. Yeah, Duel of Fates that's a good scene. But, to say that the visuals in A New Hope don't hold up and that movie doesn't hold up technically and hold up a Phantom Menace, which is some of the worst CG that has aged so badly, and just the script writing, the stories, there's no way. There are parts of it that I do defend, but no, please, God, no. Boba hat's going back over my face. I don't want to think about it.
All right, Ryan with a R.
You know what? As much as there's some good scenes in the movie, and the Duel of the Fates is one of my favorite parts of the Star Wars score or the soundtrack, however you want to phrase it. As the GIF says on social media, it's a no from me.
All right. And Tim, what do you got before I go?
Well, I can probably get a lot of this off my chest after hearing that. Yes, Duel of the Fates was a great addition to the soundtrack. That was a decently good lightsaber fight. Comparative that you had a wasted character of a villain with Darth Maul, who maybe had 1 or 2 lines, and was the biggest disappointment to Star Wars characters besides the possibility of Snoke and Captain Phasma, or Captain Advertisement, if you want to. That movie was just so bad to me. I wouldn't even put it in. Even if we had, I would put Ewoks ahead of that, Jeremy. I would put the Ewoks movie, even though it wasn't theatrically released, ahead of that movie. So, Sandy, go ahead. It's all you.
All right. I'm going to make this quick. I'm a prequelist, so I love the prequels. Everything that you guys said about The Force Awakens and how The Force Awakens brought Star Wars back, just go into your head and think back to when you saw that first Phantom Menace trailer, and it had been since 1980. What, Jer? When did Return come out? 83?
83.
Yeah. So there hadn't been Star Wars since 83. A lot longer than what we got with the Force Awakens after Revenge of the Sith. So I'm gonna say yes, that I would love it in there. Nico was right. We saw the Jedi at the height of their power. When they jump out of that little thing and jump down 25 feet, the way they use their lightsabers, and if the second best lightsaber battle in all of Star Wars is the Duel of Fates battle.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
No way. It absolutely is. It's 100% the second best lightsaber duel in the entire Star Wars. It showed Jedi and Sith at what they could do, and not just.
Don't we already have all the no votes though?
We do.
Yeah, we do.
I just need to put mine in there. So.
Yeah, no, he has a right to state
No, of course.
his
I just
reason.
want to be sure we knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are.
Yeah.
No, it's a no. It's not on the list. It did not make the top 7. I'm sorry, Nico, but we're going to have another chance here pretty quick. So,
The arms of
Ryan,
me.
it is.
I'll just say there's some good scenes in Matrix Reloaded too. Still sucks.
Yeah. I would absolutely pick Reloaded over Revelations, hands down. But
Equilibrium was still better than The Matrix.
yeah, no, the Matrix is no. Okay, we're not getting into that. We're in Star Wars.
Okay, Star Wars.
Ryan, you're up. What's your pick for the next one to make our top 7?
And we're going to have to cut it down because Jeremy does have to leave soon, so we're just going to have to be quicker about this.
All right.
Thank you.
Is it my turn or Purger's?
Yeah, Ryan.
Your turn.
Your turn.
Oh, okay, just making sure. Let's see.
Are we finally going to get the big one?
I'm actually going to throw this one into the mix because I actually really enjoyed this, and I'm going to go with Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Yes.
I'm going to go with Rogue One because I like how it sets up perfectly and how it goes into Episode 4, A New Hope. As much as we didn't get too much background on the characters, I really like the space battles, the themes that it had in there about, things aren't always so black and white. There's a little bit of gray in the middle. And I thought the score, at least for the most part, worked. Just overall, I just really like Rogue One, a Star Wars story. And the third act had me in tears at the end of that movie. So Rogue One gets my vote.
All right. Tim, Rogue One. Does it make it?
I'll try to make this quick. Rogue One, it was okay. I thought it was unnecessary because you knew they were going to die in the end. I didn't really feel too attached to these characters because it's not that, they're going to die. It's just I just thought they could have done the character development a lot better. I'll give it a yes compared to the movies we have left, and I know a couple others will get in. So I'll give it a yes, even though I was only okay with it.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to go next with this one. It's a no. It's a no for me. It doesn't make my top 7. It barely made my list at all. But the only reason it is on my list where it is, listen, I enjoyed it. I went and saw it twice. I had a good time watching it. But if we're chalking it up to the rest of it, the only really good part that I went back to see the movie for was the last 5 minutes. And because that's all I cared about. Because Tim's right, I didn't have any feelings for anybody else in the whole thing. So it's a no for me, but no good choice. All right, Brian.
Yep,
Ryan, TM,
Berger.
let's do it together. Yes! 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 Yes!
Sorry,
I wasn't too excited with that movie, so I'm not going to start a Daniel Bryan fan.
Oh, come on!
It's a wrestler thing, Jeremy, so sorry about that.
All right.
Come on!
Nice
Yes,
there.
of course it goes in.
Nice.
Like I've said, there's 3 movies that I'm going to vote no for. I've already voted no for one of them. There's 2 other ones. Rogue One is not one of them. Rogue One makes my top 7 for sure.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Right. That's it.
Yes!
That's it. Passes, Rogue.
That mean it?
Okay, now.
Oh, sorry, we voted it in. Okay.
Yeah, Jeremy, Nico, any thoughts? Quick thoughts?
It's
It's low for me, but it would make the 7. I don't love it, but I do like it. It's real good.
Nico?
it's different from the Star Wars we know up to that point, but it's also the starsiest and warsiest Star Wars film out of all of them. So I say put it on the list.
Okay. So far, we have 4 movies that have made the list: New Hope, Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, Phantom Menace, off the list.
That's right. Tim, your turn.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to go ahead, even though I want to battle. Well, no, I kind of know this movie's going to get in, so I'm going to battle. I want to battle and be a prequelist here for a second.
Uh-oh.
With Sandy and Nico, and I'm going to vote in episode 3 because with that movie, it was a conclusion of the prequel trilogy, and it was a strong ending. I thought you got that, you understood that full resolution of the turn of Anakin into Vader, a great battle with him and Obi-Wan, where Obi-Wan, even to the bitter end, still not only wanted to save his Padawan, his student, but his brother and his friend. And you saw that throughout. Yes, you could have done without the whole tear coming down, or you could have redone that, no, which I'll agree with Chance on. But I still think overall, episode 3 still would get into my top 7.
Brian. Awesome, Tim. Thanks so much for that. So there is absolutely no doubt in my mind that this movie it should make it into the top 5, let alone the top 7. It has the best lightsaber duel in the history of Star Wars. It has the best opening sequence that I've ever seen in any Star Wars movie. The space battle in that is fantastic. It is filled with action. It is filled with everything that you want to see in a Star Wars movie. And not only that, we see the creation of Darth Vader from an actual human into the cyborg that we see in the original trilogy. I don't give a flying F what anybody else thinks. Revenge of the Sith is one of the best Star Wars movies, and it should make this list for every reason. I don't care if people didn't like the 3 seconds that it took for him to go, no. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It is a good movie, and it sets up everything that we come to know of in the Star Wars trilogy. So it's a yes for me.
I hope somebody's making a GIF of this right now. Seriously.
I'm with Brian on this one. Yeah, Perjure.
Remember, there's 3 movies that don't make the list, so
that's enough. All right, Brian is saying no. Mark.
Oh, I think I've had a factor in a lot of these votes. I'll go last if that's okay.
All right, Jeremy.
Look, I'm not what you call a prequelist. I'm definitely not somebody that loves or celebrates the prequels. But you know what? The prequels happened. They exist. They are a part of Star Wars canon. And I think they're a central part of Star Wars canon. You can't deny them the place and all the new ideas and all the old storylines that everything that George Lucas tied in movies. And obviously the best of the 3, in my opinion, is Sith. And I think it is an important movie that belongs in the conversation and on the list. I say yes on Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
That's it. I'm putting on the mask.
All right. So I'm
sorry, buddy.
I'm going to end the debate, and I'm going to go over to Nico.
How many films have taken up the list so far?
4.
1, 2, 4 so far.
This is the 5th. This
Okay.
will be the 5th, right?
Yep.
Yeah, this will be the 5th.
All right. Put it on the list.
Absolutely. And that's it. Revenge makes the list.
Okay. With me,
He left the room.
with me, it comes down one of the biggest, greatest things to come out of that movie. Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Yes.
It's just
God,
an
that's a good
echo. We still
No, it
is.
is. But like I've said, I have my top 7. 3 movies don't make the list. This movie definitely makes the list for me. It's without doubt my favorite prequel movie. I really do enjoy like especially Palpatine, Darth Sidious, like his manipulation of Anakin. Nico, you want to talk about the lightsaber battles? My favorite lightsaber battle with Obi-Wan, Anakin, Palpatine, Yoda. The way they cut that, like, I'm not gonna lie, I really do enjoy Revenge of the Sith. It is up there for one of my favorite movies.
Sorry, let's get a quick comment from Ryan, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Very simple. Access denied. No, thank you.
All right. Well, it makes the final 7 for this round. So we're gonna move on to. Oh, hey. I guess it's me, and I am going to now that my first pick is going in. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pick my absolute favorite Star Wars movie.
Oh, finally.
Followed very closely by the one we just voted in, Empire Strikes Back.
Thank God.
Empire Strikes Back is damn near a perfect movie. From start to finish, it is almost a perfect movie. People will say a lot of that stuff, like with the Back to the Future and other movies that are very, very perfectly made. Empire is hands down one of the most perfect movies ever made. It has everything that you want. It has love. It has serious moments. It has sad moments. It has action. It has defeat. It has walkers, for crying out loud. Are you kidding me? But so that's my pick to get into the top 7. I think it's gonna be a clean sweep on this one, but let's go right off with. I'm going to start with Mark this time.
Really, it's my favorite movie of all time. I don't care what anyone says. You asked me my favorite movie of all time, Empire.
Nice.
No restrictions, no nothing like that. What's your favorite movie? Empire Strikes Back.
Can we all just say in unison what we all think, what this movie should do?
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Does anybody have any?
Yes.
Is there any no's?
There better freaking not be.
Nico?
How could you say no? How could you say no?
Brian,
Say no to Empire.
Brian, fair. Nico.
Order.
Yes?
It's on the list.
Okay. Ryan.
It's a
Sandy,
yes.
yes. Tim.
It's a definite yes. It's in the top 2.
Okay, it's
top
unified.
3.
It's unified. It's in there.
Can I just say something real fast?
Yes.
Get my 2 cents in there. I come here. I'm not what I call a star. I don't call myself a Star Wars geek. I feel like I'm here representing the non-Star Wars geeks. I'm a movie lover. I'm a film fan. And as a movie lover, I love The Empire Strikes Back. It is a great film. I'm not going to argue and yell and scream about if I like Yoda or if I like Darth Sidious or these crazy conversations you guys did get into. But The Empire Strikes Back is a great film, and that's just the way it is.
Okay. We have our tops. We have 6 movies so far: New Hope, Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi, Rogue One, Revenge of the Sith, and Empire Strikes Back. One more movie makes the list.
One more. We need somebody that I'm going to choose. I'm going to go to Mr. I'm Late. Ryan, you get to pick the last movie that potentially makes our list.
Oh,
Okay,
dear.
and
Clone Wars. Clone
Dear
Wars.
heavens almighty.
no, it's not the Clone Wars. Fuck that movie. Fuck that
No.
movie.
All right.
Okay.
The only
It's
movie.
it's the most obvious one. we have
Ryan.
here.
Ryan.
Oh!
Ryan,
Sorry.
What the fuck?
Perjure. We'll call you Perjure.
Why?
Okay, Ryan. Oh, we do have to speed this up a little bit.
All right. There's too many
and let
people
me
in
just
this
say,
room.
Ryan, because you came in late, all movies are eligible, including
Okay.
the most recent one.
All right. I'm just gonna. I'll throw it in there. Last Jedi.
There you
All
go.
right.
Thank you. That's what I was gonna throw in. I would throw in that movie.
Okay. We moving on, Ryan. That's all you gotta say.
I've seen it 3 times. I like it a little bit more and more as I see it, but I still would not put it in my personal top 5 of Star Wars movies of all
Okay.
time. But it would be right below it.
Okay. moving on.
I've seen it 7 times, so yes.
Oof.
Nice, dude.
Okay,
Too
so
much.
Yeah.
Mark.
yeah, it's definitely my top 7. The other 2 movies, go after yourselves.
Let's get Tim in here. Tim, what do you think? Does it make it?
Real quick, if anyone hasn't seen my review of The Last Jedi, then if you don't know this, then no.
All
Oh,
Absolutely
Really?
not. Absolutely
Well,
not does it get in my top 7.
right. All right. Let's
Nope.
go.
that
It does
opinion
not.
deserves to be heard. That opinion is out there.
Absolutely.
How can you say no to that?
Watch my review.
Nico.
I was part of the review that Tim had, and Ryan can attest to this. I found reasons to like everything that Tim hated, so put it on the list.
Yay.
Jer, you get the last comment on this one.
I hope Jen destroys you.
What?
No.
There have been 2 movies that I've watched in recent weeks that have brought me to tears and emotionally devastated me in a really great way. War for the Planet of the Apes and The Last Jedi. It's a great movie. I love it.
I bawled like a
It's on my list.
War for the Planet.
I can agree with that, Jeremy.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right, guys. We have our 7 movies.
And I don't think there's any reason to do honorable mentions, right?
Nope.
The dishonorable mentions?
Yeah, just
Episode
in this case, very dishonorable mentions, at least in my opinion. I really hate Attack of the Clones and
Oof.
Clone Wars.
I still have it higher than The Last Jedi.
All right,
Tim,
guys.
we're not partners anymore.
We're moving into round number 2. And this is going to set up what our final 5 are, and then we're going to rank them by 1 to 5 or 5 to 1. So we're going to go over this again. I'm going to mix it up. These were in no particular order, so I'm just going to go, and we're going to start with, let's go with Jeremy this time. Jeremy, you get to start. Out of those 7 movies, what do you want in the top 5?
Or
Well, I think I picked the one. I put the one on the table that is going to be voted off.
Yes.
You have to eliminate 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
So
No.
I'm gonna nominate. Go ahead.
Is that how it works? We do.
Yes, it is. We
have to-
cut
we have
2
to
out.
vote Yeah, we have to.
We're
cut 2 out, so I'm
nominating
gonna nominate one.
to take 2 moves out.
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to nominate one, and then everyone's going to vote on whether it stays or whether it goes.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to vote for. I'm trying to remember what's on the list. I'm sorry. Can you read it?
Episode 4.
I know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to nominate Rogue One. I'm going to say Rogue One should not be on the list. I think that it's a good movie, but to me, it isn't fully Star Wars to me. It almost feels like Star Wars fan fiction to me, to be totally honest with you. And there's a couple great Star Wars scenes in there, but overall, it's a good movie. But I almost felt like it's a glossed up version of the Star Wars TV movies, really, just to me personally. So it doesn't make the 5 for me.
All right. Let's go over to Tim. Tim, what do you think of Rogue One? Should it stay on the list?
It shouldn't be in the top 5. And a real quick story. It'll be real quick. Whenever I was in the theater to see it, I felt like I was in a theater of perverts during a dirty movie. Because for, like Jeremy said, for that fan service, every time it was like at Walker, all I was hearing was like cum shots and everything else. I'm like,
Oh my god. Okay.
oh my god.
Nico,
I still think it should not be in the 5.
All right. It's not in the 5. All right. Let's go to The Purger. See, that's how you know it's your turn, dude.
It makes my list. It makes the list.
All right.
I say keep it.
Okay.
I say keep it.
And we'll go to the next one, who was jumping for joy over there. Ryan.
I would say yes. Keep it on the list. It's in my top 5. I put it at number 5. Let's do it.
All right. Nico.
What's the current score so far?
2-2.
3-2.
No, it's 2-2.
2-2.
2-2. Sorry.
Can you come back to me?
Oh.
No, give your answer. Give your answer.
I can jump over to Mark. Mark, go ahead.
Damn it. Does Rogue One make? Oh, it's tough. I keep looking at my list and like, hard to say. I did really, really enjoy Rogue One. I saw like 3 times in the theater also. But like, what would I take out? There's 2 movies that I have to take out. Do I which one?
You will keep the movie in the list.
I like this guy, Perger.
You will keep Rogue One in your list.
I really want to, but for my top 5, it's do it.
It's only 5, Mark.
Your top
Do it.
five.
Okay. Rogue One stays.
Ah.
All right.
I'm sorry. It is a good
No, you had your time.
Star
Too long.
Wars movie. I really enjoy. I'm sorry.
Hold on, I'm gonna get a cigarette real quick before I get fucked right now.
No.
Hey.
All right. No, you had your time. You could have talked. You sat there and thought about it for 20 minutes. So no.
I'm good. I'm moving on.
All right. Good. I'm gonna make this hard on Nico. I'm voting no. It wasn't in my top 7, top 5, so I'm going no. Not that I didn't like it. I did, but it doesn't make my top 5. There's too many good movies. So, hey Nico, you happy?
This is what happens when you wait, Nico.
Come on, Bendu.
I have to go, by the way, so please vote it off.
Put it on the list. Put it on the list.
Yes!
Son of a...
Yes! Fuck you!
Okay. We gotta move on.
All right. Let's go with Perger. What do you want on the list next?
Or take it off.
Take it off.
To take off the list?
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I'm sorry. I have to take off Return of the Jedi. It's not in my top 5.
We're
Not in my
gonna
top
have
5.
any taken off, dude. They're not going to be any taken off.
Oh, there's gonna be some taken off.
No.
Taking off from the top 7. I mean, it's not in my top 5.
We're not going to get a consensus.
But to keep on my list, I have to say The Last Jedi.
Okay, no. But okay, moving on. Jeremy. Sorry. Let's go. Sandy. Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, Return of the Jedi makes my top 5.
Tim.
Definitely makes the top 5.
Okay. And with me, I'm voting. Unfortunately, I have to vote to take it off. But I like it. I'm not going to give my reasons.
Let's just vote
Ryan.
it in and let's just stay. It stays and keep moving because there's no way this gets voted off.
Yeah. Ryan.
I say keep it on. It's in my top 5. It's actually number 2 on my top 5 list.
All right, let's end the debate, Jeremy.
Yeah, it stays. Let's go. What's next?
And it also stays for me.
Nico.
I also want it on the list. Keep it.
Okay.
It's already made it on the list. We're moving to the next one. Nico, pick your movie that you want to take off the list.
I'm going to say New Hope. Everyone's going to say it stays, and this is just going to keep going.
Get rid of A New Hope.
It stays. What's the next
Stays.
one?
It stays for me.
I told you we weren't going to get a consensus.
Yeah.
All right, let's go with. All right, let's go with Ryan. What do you want off the list?
What's left now?
We got Force Awakens. We got Revenge, Empire, Last Jedi.
Ooh, man, this is hard. No, I'm just kidding. Get Revenge of the Sith out of here. I want that off the list.
No.
You're
That's it. It stays for me. That's a vote for staying for me. So.
Perger.
Nah, take it off the list.
Nico.
As much of a prequelist as I am, I think you got to get rid of this one.
Tim.
Yeah.
Tim.
Stays.
It stays. So.
Yep.
So I'm the deciding vote?
Yeah.
No, I haven't voted yet. But
Okay.
Oh.
So it's 3-2 right now.
Yep. No. Yeah, it's 3-2 against.
All right. So
Good.
who's next?
Deciding vote. You.
Jeremy,
Me.
Are you
Okay, I'm
keeping
sorry,
it
I
or-
wasn't hearing you guys too good. Yeah,
Jer-
all I want to do is get a consensus so that we can take 2 off and keep moving. But I gotta be honest and vote yes. Thanks a lot, guys.
Okay.
It stays. It stays.
Okay, it stays.
I vote
Okay.
yes as well. So
With me,
We had
With
our
me,
chance to take Rogue
I
One.
nominate Last Jedi.
all right, Ryan. Mark picks
Stays.
Last Jedi.
Last Jedi to get removed. Okay, go ahead, Pete.
Nico.
Keep it.
Tim.
Tim, Last Jedi.
Tim. Last Jedi.
Off,
There you go.
off the list.
All right, I'll say it's off the list as well. Let's go with Perger.
Keep it. Keep it.
Let's go with Jer.
Off the list.
Let's go with Mark.
I voted to take it off.
Oh yeah, you did. Okay, yeah. So we'll go to Ryan,
Finally, Jeremy, Mark, and I agree on something. I say take it off the list.
and that is our first movie taken off of the list.
No. Now you fucked up my top 5. Great.
Okay.
I love the movie, guys.
Oh,
But
I do too. Okay, Force Awakens. Are we keeping it or I vote
Off.
to keep?
I vote to keep.
I keep.
I vote off.
I vote to keep it.
Okay, just one second. Okay, Brian. Yes.
I,
I keep it.
Keep
Keep
it.
it for me.
Jeremy.
Off.
Off. Okay. Nico.
Keep it.
Okay. Ryan.
Keep Force Awakens all day, all night.
Okay. Sandy.
I say take it off.
Okay. Tim.
Tim's last vote.
Off.
Tiebreaker.
Off.
All right.
Okay.
Force Awakens gone too. Wow, the first trilogy is.
Oh.
Fuck.
That one,
This-
nothing out of the purge.
Apologies to the new
Wow.
trilogy, man.
All right, so we are
Wait,
down.
this list then.
Sandy, did you have my? I was nominated it.
Yeah, I got your vote. It was 3-3.
Yeah, I voted to keep it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to keep
Let
it
me-
on. Okay.
Let me just say, in my heart, Last Jedi is on that list and not Rogue One. But whatever that's the way.
Mine too. Mine too. All right, so there's our list, guys. I want you guys to write down what you guys want in order from 5 to 1 or 1 to 5. I don't care which order you're into
Okay.
it.
No. The way
Yeah,
we
so
do
vote
it
for
is
number 5 right now. Number
the
5.
way we do it is we quickly just know. Okay, what do we vote for number 5? Number 5, 5th movie on there.
All right, Perger, what do you vote for number 5?
Perger, what's your number 5?
Fuck this list. Revenge of the Sith. Fuck it.
Jeremy,
Revenge of the Sith.
Nico,
A New Hope.
Ryan,
I don't have a pen and paper in front of me. I'll just say Revenge of the Sith.
Sandy,
Revenge.
Tim,
Rogue One.
and I voted Return. It's Revenge of the Sith is number 5.
What is going on over there?
With
All
me,
right.
it's it's the little guy.
Jeremy,
Okay,
pick your number 4.
number 4.
Who? Is it
Jeremy.
me? Oh,
Wait, no.
Rogue One.
Rogue
Actually, I
One.
meant to put that at 5. I forgot the stupid movie was on the list. So 4. So Rogue One.
Wait, Brian, Perger. Number 4.
Fuck me. Return of the Jedi.
Okay, Nico,
A New Hope.
Ryan,
Rogue One.
Sandy,
Let's just make it a consensus. I'll put Rogue One on there too.
Tim.
Rogue One.
Damn it! I got Return of the Jedi.
All right.
All right.
So we have the correct top 3.
Tim, pick your number 3.
Tim, what's your number 3?
I'm going to go A New Hope.
Sandy.
Yeah, A New Hope for me too.
Oh, crap. Ryan?
What's left?
The original.
The original trilogy.
The original.
Original trilogy.
Oh, and we're voting for number 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Return of the Jedi.
Okay, Nico?
A New Hope.
Jeremy?
Return of the Jedi. Even though I was the one that pitched it.
Perger?
Return.
I've also got Return of the Jedi.
So return is number 3.
All right.
And now,
we've voted
now
for
we're not voting for number 2, we're voting for number 1. What? Now we're picking our favorite out of the New Hope or Empire Strikes Back. Which one do you want to be number 1? Not number 2, number 1.
Yeah, we don't even need to write it down.
Yeah.
Right
Okay.
down.
I'm voting Empire.
Yeah. Empire.
Empire.
Yeah.
Jeremy?
I wrote it as big as I could.
Oh, nice. And Tim?
I had New Hope.
Sorry, buddy.
All
Yep.
right.
And,
A New Hope.
okay, Sandy, what is our top 5?
Our top 5 is
Yeah, I said
starting
Empire.
with number 5. Thankfully, we were running out of time, so I don't think people cared. But that means Revenge of the Sith makes it at number 5. A new Rogue One. I can't believe Rogue One made it into the top 5, but it is number 4. Return of the Jedi is number 3. A New Hope is number 2. And the granddaddy of them all, the biggest movie for Star Wars ever, Empire Strikes Back.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Brian the Perger Fernandez, Jeremy the Adam Adams, Nico Regoli, Ryan Permison, Sandy's been your host, Sandy the Sandman Robinson, Tim T.M. Smith, and of course I am the Canadian Nightmare, Harley Quinn, Master Porgs. Thank you. Take care. This has been our top 5 Star Wars movies.
Till next time, keep it metal.